At what point do you stop making excuses for the guy and say, hey, this just might be a red flag, but I think I'll stick it out. She wants to know if she continue to date this guy or ditch him.
Hey, Bert Show. I guess I have a bit of a ditch or date situation for you. I've always found your advice to be valuable. You sure you're listening to our show? So maybe you guys can help me too. I've been dating a guy for 8 months. We're in our 20s. Things have been going really well. We have a connection, as Bert likes to say.
Connection.
And we spend time with each other almost every day. Now, when Valentine's Day came around, we talked about what we wanted to do and chose a limit for how much we were going to spend on each other. I was so excited to have my first Valentine's Day with someone I love, and he knew that. Well, I bought him a gift, wrote a long message in a car about why I love him. Him? He showed up empty-handed.
Oh, my God.
No flowers, no card, no plans on what to do. It was like a regular day. He happily accepted my gift and then took me to run errands. We picked up dog food. I sat in the car while he got his hair cut. I burst into tears because I was so disappointed. And he said he didn't know how to make it up to me. I asked him if he wanted a redo, and he said yes, but he needed a month to prepare.
What?
I was hopeful for Valentine's Day 2.0, but he kept pushing it off. Well, it finally came. He showed up at my house, yelled, "Happy Valentine's Day!" And again, he was empty-handed. But I waited to see what he had planned. He drove me to some arcade an hour away that looked like a hospital inside, and then said he wanted to stop at his grandpa's house since it was just down the street. So, stupid me, of course we did. And then we went to his grandmother's grave.
What?
And then his mom called him because she needed help with something, so he dropped me off at home. Part of me thinks he only picked that arcade because it was close to his grandpa's house. It's one thing to mess up Valentine's Day, but to mess it up twice really hurts. It's not even about the holiday. It's about him knowing something is important to me and then choosing to ruin it twice. I can't help but feel like he was being so selfish and don't understand how someone who makes me feel so loved can have such a disregard for me randomly. Even to happily accept my $250 gift knowing he had nothing to give back, it's like he used Valentine's Day to get an extra birthday. I am so mad. I want to say it's just a silly holiday and it doesn't matter that much, but I feel used and I've been crying ever since. Is it a red flag? Is he just not getting it? I really need your opinions on what to do here. I am so confused and hurt. Thanks, Bert Show.
What you got, Mo?
I was going to say at first, maybe this is something that you guys can talk about. You can just express to him how much this is important to you and how much he dropped the ball in this situation. But after it kept going and it just seems to get worse and worse and worse, I think, to be honest, this is one of those situations where when they tell you to believe people when they show you who you are, you have to believe them. And I think this is just who he is. This is not important to him. I don't know if it ever will be. So I think this is the point of the relationship where you have to truly decide if this is something worth pursuing, because I don't see this being any better in the future.
I want to sort of piggyback on something you said in the very beginning, because I come from a family that didn't celebrate anything, nothing, right? So as I got older, I had to be taught how to celebrate. Right? How to celebrate other people. It had to be identified to me before. Now, I learned because I'm a human and realized, okay, even though I don't need this for myself, other people need to be celebrated, right? And it was a hard twitch for me too, because my entire life, I didn't know how to do it. It was never brought to me, so I never had to do it to others. I learned it. So I'll give him the initial grace on it, but at some point or another, you also can make excuses for how you were raised. And now you're an adult and you can process and you can change.
Yeah, it's a red flag that he messed up Valentine's Day the first time, because obviously it's going to show some red flags as to like what he's not going to celebrate or what he doesn't think is important. But that shouldn't stop the relationship. To me, what the relationship red light is when you expressed why it hurt you and why it's important to you, and then you double down and then ruined Valentine's Day twice again by taking me to an arcade. That would have been grounds for me to immediately leave you. Like, I would have called an Uber from the arcade and I would have been out of there.
Yeah.
This is going to be your life from here on out. Like, if you stay with this man, I'm going to piggyback on what Mo says. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And you can justify something because like, well, everything else is good. So, or not excuse certain behavior because everything else is good. But if this is important to you, he has shown you that he is not going to prioritize you on holidays, even when you point out, hey, this hurt my feelings. I wish you did something extra, or you would do something better. And then the second time around, he did not. So either you're at a crossroads, right? Either you accept this man for who he is and that he sucks at holidays and he sucks at giving gifts, and you have to eliminate every expectation and accept him for who he is. Or if this is something that's important to you, and there's no right or wrong here, right? You just have to decide what's going to be best for you. If this is something that is really hurtful, and especially the fact that when you express that this is important to you and he's still neglected to make it right, then it's time to ditch.
You know what would have upset me the most in this situation? Like, I gave you a $250 gift card. Use it to buy me something.
Re-gift it.
Right.
You know?
So many levels here.
The Bert Show.